investors lost tons and tons of money on this wave, where we thought that mobility would be completely transformed, and really it was like it was Uber, and that was it. Um, and there's a very good reason for that, and that's that tech investors are used to seeing tech returns. They're used to seeing zero marginal cost of growth. So serving your 10,000th customer costs exactly the same as serving your 100,000th customer. There's no additional cost. It's a tech product. It's software. That's just not the case in mobility, right? You've got people on the ground doing things. You've got actual people's time. You have maintenance. You have insurance costs, liabilities. These things do not scale nearly as well. And so company after company did the same playbook that VCs expect, which is we're going to invest in you, and you go hyper growth. You scale as fast as you freaking can. And then once you've dominated the market, then we can update the unit economics, and you can change pricing, you can fire some people, and now, find your path to profitability. That just does not work when you have operational costs on the ground that do not scale and are not accounted.
Really good points there about VC model. And I also think it's difficult to do that when you're still trying to figure out what works with mobility. Like, how do you even make a model that is profitable in the first place? Like, solving this trust issue, like there's a lot of iterations that you need to go through. And then it's not necessarily always the right answer to raise money. It kind of depends on what you're trying to do. Like, tech is great, right? Like, I think you explained it, hit the nail on the head, where the unit costs to serve the thousands to the hundred thousands customer are very similar. But when you think about people's time, insurance, those kind of things, those don't scale. And I think there's some parallelism to VCs raising for insurance companies. Like, I'm from insurance background, that doesn't work very well. And that was also a complete bloodbath because insurance is not a tech company. Like, there's legitimate liabilities. Like, you're basically loaning out capital consistently, and you're on the hook for quite a bit of money, either in your reserves or within your book, because you've got all of these liabilities of these policies. And it's kind of similar. It's like, you can't really grow super duper fast because you've got to figure out the system. One, you got to make sure that you've got the right stuff coming through the door. Like, if you said, okay, I'm going to raise money, and this mobility company, we're going to grow fast. We're going to get so many users. Well, guess what? Your users are probably not the most optimal users on your user base. And it might work
No.
for 6 months. You might raise more money. You might do better. You might be on top of the world, but then all these lawsuits come through and there's issues with the brand. Then you collapse because you don't have the structural foundation to serve at that level of capacity. One, probably doesn't make sense, but two, you're not there yet, and simply because you're figuring it out and it doesn't make sense for what you're trying to do.
That's extremely accurate. And look, VCs and this kind of hyper growth scale model works really, really well when you have super defined problems, right? Like, what you have to solve when you have, like, for tech companies. We fix one really particular set of problems. We do that really, really well, and then we find all the customers that we can save, and then we go straight into that. When you're talking about mobility, the amount of things that can go wrong, the amount of different problems that you have to solve is astounding. And so the thing is that while you're scaling, you could be ignoring a very, very critical part of the infrastructure that you're building. And then that comes and bites you in the rear in such a spectacular fashion. And that's really what you saw with so many of these companies. So many of these, like, hyperscaled mobility companies, they just crashed and burned. Uh, Even though they got to really significant sizes and valuations. I'll never forget, like, um, I don't want to name too many names, but there's a pretty major platform that shut down fully across the U.S. After reaching $1 billion in valuation. You know, like, they didn't even get acquired, right? Like, that's the thing, that's the level of, like, get up there and then crash. Story of Icarus flying too close to the sun, kind of a thing. Because they didn't solve the fundamental underlying problem, the unit economics, the customer base. You pour money on a problem, you end up making it bigger sometimes. So what actually ended up happening on my side was I got lucky more than I got smart, right? It's only in hindsight that I'm like, okay, we got lucky because we built it wisely.